search is underway.
They're getting closer and closer.
A new search area to search for 10-year-old Zahra Baker.
I have no idea how it feels.
Canines, police, backhoes, search teams.
Hurts enough that it's numb.
The cops know where she is and what he has done.
We have not found her body.
We really didn't kill her, but what he did after the fact is kind of horrifying.
I have no words for that woman.
They're getting closer and closer.
Little Zahra Baker. Searching for 10-year-old Zahra Baker.
And now the question is, where did they discard her body?
Find her soon enough.
All the searches they've done to solve the case.
Police have checked out 4 properties.
Searching an overgrown area off a county back road.
They do not have her body.
Are we one step closer to finding the body of 10-year-old little Zahra?
I don't even know what to say with how hard it is. The whole thing's just breaking my heart. This is my way of partially making it real. So it's hurting like crazy. It hurts enough that it's numb. And I always had to hope one day that she'd come to find me. And it's gone. My children will never meet her. You know, I never get to see how much she fits with my family, and I never got to know any traits that she had of me. I never got to tell her I was proud of her.
We are taking your calls out to Linda, Ohio. Hi, Linda. Do I have Linda with me? Let's try Maria in New Jersey. Hi, Maria.
Hi, Nancy. How are you?
I'm good, dear. What's your question?
I was just wondering if Zahra was so ill, she may have been receiving some financial help, and they hid her body because they wanted to just keep collecting money that she had coming.
You know what? That has happened many times in the past. What about it, Jinkasaurus?
Think about it, because Adam Baker is an Australian citizen, Zahra Baker is an Australian citizen. They had come here. You're talking about disability payments. We don't know anything about that at all, but the fact is Adam Baker, who is still alive and out on bond, he is not a U.S. citizen.
But you're saying they did get disability payments, so if they got them for themselves, certainly they're getting them for her.
Do we have it confirmed that they are getting disability, that they were getting disability?
No.
I think it's a good question of fact.
The stepmommy may have been, but Adam Baker was working. I don't think he was. After the lines, Linda, Ohio. Hi, Linda.
Hi, Nancy.
He's not disabled.
Hi, dear. What's your question?
Oh, I've tried for 2 years to get through. Thanks for taking my call.
Thank you
My
for continuing to
question is-
try.
Yeah, my question is,
Yes.
am I on now?
Yes, you are on, and I've
Okay,
got about 30 seconds left, so try to spit that
Okay,
question out.
Thank you. Now, could Zahra's father be sexually abusing Zahra, and that's why the stepmother is jealous and mean to the little girl, and the little girl was going to tell somebody, so they had to do something with her?
Oh.
You know what? That's not that far-fetched a scenario. We do not have evidence suggesting that. Zahra's body has not been found. We know nothing about sexual abuse allegations, but that particular scenario has been played out in courts before. Alicia lawyers, Kelly Saindon, Remy Spencer, Richard Herman. Remy Spencer, wouldn't this be a good time for the mom and dad to tell what they know?
If they know anything, that's really the point. Now, whether they're guilty or innocent, they have a right to remain silent. They have the right to an attorney to protect that right.
Could you put Remy Spencer up? Remy, we're all familiar with the Constitution and the Fifth Amendment right to remain silent. My question was, wouldn't this be a great time to tell what they know?
If they know anything at all, and we don't know that.
Okay, Remy, are you familiar with the fact that the mother, the stepmother, admits she wrote a phony $1 million ransom note?
Yes, and we do know that this woman, Elisa Baker, has said one thing, then she said another thing, she said then something else contradictory. So it's very hard to believe anything that she's saying right now. She does not have to say anything. We all know that, as you said, it's our constitutional right. And
yes,
But if this case were to go...
I'll just put it out there. We all have a right to remain silent. What I'm trying to get at, help me out, Richard. Just try to take off that defense hat just for a moment. I mean, if I were their lawyer and I knew that they knew something, I would try to cut a deal as fast as I could for something, anything. Throw me a bone. Help me out here. That's what I would be saying to the state if I were their lawyer, because they could prove a murder case right now. They found a prosthetic leg. We think they found another bone. You know, come on, she wrote the fake ransom note, and the father was complicit because he called in a fake 911 call about his daughter.
Yeah, I don't know, Nancy. If there's culpability here, sure, you got to try to make a deal as quick as you can. But what troubles me is that 911 call, that emergency call you played earlier in the show. He was so stone cold on that one. You know, that was real troubling for me as a defense attorney to hear him like that. If your daughter's missing and you call that in, you're going to be insane. So
You're right, Richard.
That's trouble.
I'm just telling you that they're going to prove this case, with or without Daddy and stepmommy's help. All right? They're going to. They've got the leg, the prosthetic leg. We think they've got a bone. They've got evidence from the home. And they've got stepmommy admitting she wrote a fake $1 million ransom note. What about it, Kelly St. Dunn?
I agree with you, Nancy. They should cut a deal. They should tell what they know, because if they actually do want this to be wrapped up, the stepmom saying, well, wait till you find out what happened. Tell what happened. Cut yourself a deal and find this girl's remains. Put her to rest.
I want to go out to Dr. Joshua Purper. Dr. Purper, many of the wires have told us that divers are searching a creek. Others are using oars to find possible evidence. But how can they make sure? What they're looking for would be bones. How can they make sure they won't damage those bones under this scenario?
Well, the only thing which they can do is be very careful when they walk through. Make sure that they don't hear any kind of cracks under their feet, and just exercise as much caution. There's no absolute possibility to avoid damage to the bone, but once there would be a damage, they wouldn't continue with the damage, because hopefully there's more than one bone in that particular location.
And Dr. Joshua Purper is with us, everyone, Chief Medical Examiner, Broward County. His latest book is When Doctors Kill. Doctor, you're the Chief Medical Examiner. What does it mean to you when you are called out to a search and you stand by all day on the scene at the police request?
Well, it would mean that there's a significant information which points that there might be human remains in this location, and therefore I would have the opportunity of examining them before they undergo additional deterioration. And I can make all kind of determination whether there is other evidence which can be linked to the body.
Dr. Purper, I have had cases that I personally prosecuted when we got DNA evidence turned around in 3 days. 3 days. Okay? Why are they acting like it's taking them weeks to identify whether this bone that they have found is Zahra's?
Well, it depends how deteriorated is the bone marrow. And perhaps they try perhaps to do it, and they were not successful on one sample, so they try additional samples. We don't know what was the condition of the bone marrow in terms of deterioration and the capability of making the testing. But usually the test takes about 7 days to 10 days. And again, if they exercise special interest, they can do it in a shorter time.
With us, Dr. Joshua Purper. I want to go to Bill Majeski, former NYPD, now Majeski Associates out of New York. Bill, what should they be doing right now other than searching the area they're searching?
I think the police are in a very good position right now. It's an optimum time for them. They have one parent in jail, the other parent outside of jail. It's a wonderful opportunity to start using one against the other.
You think they've got a GPS locator stuck on Daddy's tailpipe?
Oh, absolutely they do. They're monitoring his every movement. They're monitoring his phone calls. They're monitoring everything he does. And they'll be essentially they're looking back into the past, let's say, 2 months or 3 months of his activity. Where was he? What was he doing? Who was he with? But again, it's an opportune time to use some very good interrogation techniques on both the stepmother and the father, and use one against the other. I think that this case will be...
The bone that they found was found on November 3rd, so that was a week ago today. And if I remember correctly, I might be off a day or two, but when Kaylee was found on December 11th, I believe that the medical examiner came forward either the 17th or the 18th, maybe the 18th, to confirm that the remains that were found were that of Kaylee.